I just have this such deep-rooted fear that I'm going to get cancelled if I become successful on Instagram or like successful as an influencer. And it really is holding me back because I will go to post something on my stories and then I overthink it like crazy, thinking someone is going to get triggered by this. Someone is going to get offended by this.
I'd like to begin by respectfully acknowledging the people of the Yugambeh language region, the traditional owners of the land on which this podcast is being recorded today, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present.
Welcome to the Can You Shut Up podcast. I'm your host, Taylor, and in this podcast, we pretty much just talk about everything and anything. I like to refer to it as talking shit and giving tips. So come hang out with me and let's learn, grow, cry, laugh, and chase our dreams together. Hello, welcome back to the podcast, the Can You Shut Up podcast. My name's Taylor. Welcome, what's up, what's going on? I'm so excited for this episode. I say that every single time I film. We're over it, we're sick of it, but I'm excited. I'm excited for this episode. I've got notes written because I just have so much I want to say that I had to write notes because I would have forgotten and I would have been editing this and I would have been like, wow, I literally forgot half the stuff I wanted to say. But before we get into it, I'm going to do a little weekly recap. So this past week has honestly just been like next level. Massive growth this past week. I have this really weird thing where if I hang out with people, I get really, really worked up. Like I get really bad social anxiety where I'm like, holy shit, I don't want to go. I get really stressed that there's going to be awkward silence and then I end up oversharing to avoid awkward silence and then I finish hanging out with that person and I go home feeling like shit because I just said a bunch of stuff that I didn't really want to say or like share a bunch of stuff I didn't want to share. So I hung out with 2 friends last week and honestly like it went amazing. I've just been really tapping into the energy of just show up as my most authentic self. This is me. People will like you or they won't. You just need to know that you're being your most truest authentic self and that's all you can do. So when I like met up with these people and hung out with them, I was just my complete self. I didn't overthink things. I was just myself. I was like, if there's going to be awkward silence, that's fine. Sometimes you don't have things to talk about right away because obviously you've like just met. You don't have memories to reminisce on. And it honestly went so well. Like I left hanging out with both of these people just feeling so fulfilled and like full of energy because usually when I hang out with people, I leave feeling like drained and like I'm ready to have a nap. But both of these people, I felt really energized after hanging out with them. And I think a huge part of that was me just being my most authentic self and not putting on a fake mask and like pretending I'm someone I'm not. And then the other thing definitely is that these are good people. Like I love hanging around them. Like they're just high vibe people. I loved it. It was so much fun. So that was amazing. I had a great week and I've been reading The Universe Has My Back book, which, oh my gosh, absolutely life-changing. Like I'm only midway through chapter 2, but it's just full of information. Like I've got a whole new perspective on life at the moment. Like every time I feel fear, I'm just like, no, I choose to see this with love. Like I choose to learn with love. And it just like does a massive 360 of the way I see things, which is just amazing. So every time I feel like stressed or scared or overwhelmed by something, I just think, what is the universe trying to show me here? Like I'm excited to see what I'm going to learn out of this. Like I just look at it from a whole new perspective. And it's just, oh my gosh, I don't know. It's just really, really eye-opening and just switching up my mindset. And I'm just feeling like I'm just so much more positive lately, like so much more positive. So I'm really holding on to this feeling, really tapping into it so I can just keep experiencing these emotions and like these thoughts of how I see things because yeah, it's just going really well. So that book has just been amazing. I had so many more books arrive last week, but I have not even started any of them. I have so many books to read now. I've got that dopamine detox book, which I mentioned last week. So I've got to read that. And then once I read that and learn more about it, I'm going to do a whole podcast episode on it because I'm really passionate about that. And then also this week, I started an 8-week challenge, which I'm so excited about, like an 8-week fitness challenge. And it's so cool because the fitness brand actually asked me to be an ambassador for the 8-week challenge. So that was so exciting. I just had to post some things on my Instagram story, like promoting the challenge, getting people to sign up. But it was so much, like it was so fun promoting it because I felt really, really aligned to it. Like I didn't get paid anything, but I just felt really, really aligned to it. So that challenge started yesterday. I did the first workout yesterday and it was so out of my comfort zone. Like I was using all this gym equipment that I have never used before. So I was like, oh my God, this is really, really awkward. Yeah, I really pushed myself, get out of my comfort zone, and the workout was a killer. Like I looked at the workout on the app and I was like, oh, this doesn't look that hard. Like I'm sure I can just do my normal workout after. Bro, I was kidding myself. It was a freaking challenge. It was hard. It was really hard, but it was really good. So first day is done, but I've got another story I want to share with you, but it's going to be my holy shit moment of the week. So my holy shit moment of the week is that I literally was driving to the gym yesterday morning. I was driving to the gym and I was just driving, right? And this spider, no joke, this spider was the size of my hand. Oh my gosh, I'm getting like, oh, thinking about it. But I was just driving and this spider climbs on my window screen, not inside the car, but outside the car, was climbing on my window screen and I was like, dude, what? Like it took me like a good 1 minute to process what the frick I just seen. I was like, bro, am I still dreaming right now? So my first instinct was to turn on the window wipers and try and wipe it off. The window wipers hit it It did not even budge. It did not budge. It got hit by the window wiper, but it didn't move, and it just like crawled up onto the top of the car. And I was like, and I was so scared this spider was just going to fall on my head, climb into the car somehow while I was driving, and I was just going to have like, I don't know what I would have done if the spider came on me when I was driving. I just don't even know. I don't even want to think. I don't even want to think of that as a possibility. But I put up to the gym and I sat in my car for a good 10 minutes because I was so scared to get out of the car because I was so worried that I was going to open this door, the spider was going to be like hanging right on the door and it would just fall on my head. Oh my God, I was just sitting in the car. I had like tingles because I just thought the spider was going to crawl on me from anywhere. And like this spider was crazy big. It was so big. I've never seen a spider this big before. And I was like, bro, this is next level shit. Like I'm like, this is not okay. This is not okay. So I eventually got out of the car, literally just legged out of the car. Like I literally opened the door and just fully jumped out and like jumped a whole meter from my door so I didn't step right below where the roof of the car was going to be, where the spider could have jumped on my head. So I got out of the car, I did a massive inspection of the car. It was still dark, so I got my phone flashlight on, did an inspection of the car. I could not see this spider anywhere. So then the whole workout at the gym, I was just stressing that this spider had crawled into my car, and when I got back in the car, it was going to be under my pedal, like under the gas pedal, or just somewhere in the car that was going to crawl on me. So when I got back to my car after the gym, I got my phone torch out again and I did the biggest inspection of the inside of the car. Oh my gosh. And then I went straight to the vacuum, those vacuum places where you like put a dollar coin and then you can vacuum your car. I went straight to one of those places, deep cleaned my whole car, could not see the spider anywhere. And every time I drive now, I'm just absolutely crapping it. I don't even want to drive. This morning, I did not go to the gym because I woke up to my alarm and I was like, I am too scared to get in my car in the dark again because that spider could be anywhere. Oh my gosh. I literally did not go to the gym this morning because I did not want to go to the gym in the dark. So I'm going to go later today when it's daylight. But this spider has ruined my life. But I'm thinking it flew off the car when I was driving like 60 kilometers an hour on the bloody road getting to the gym in the morning. So I'm hoping it did, but I just don't. I mean, RIP to you, spider, because you had a good life. You're a big boy. He probably survived, to be honest. He was massive. But you know what I mean? Like I wanted to see the actual spider get removed from my car so I know that it's gone, because like I just still don't know that it's gone. Like it could be sitting under something in my car. Anyway, that is my holy shit moment of the week. It's literally consumed my whole life. I was so scared last night going to sleep that I was going to have nightmares of it, but I didn't. But yeah, living in fear at the moment, even though that book I'm reading, The Universe Has Your Back, is like trying to tell you to look at things from a perspective of love over fear. And I was trying to do that with this spider, but dude, that was like next level. And this spider fully built a spider web on my car in the middle of the night. Like he was a working king. He was on his grind last night or the night before building this spider web. And then I kind of felt bad because I was just like came in my car and ruined it all, but I kind of needed to wipe the window wipers anyway because there was spider webs on there. But anyway, enough about my dramatic spider talk. It wasn't dramatic, actually. It was very freaking scary. So pick me, choose me. This is about me. This spider was freaking scary. But now we're going to jump into the episode of, is the fear of success holding you back? Is it? Is it? I don't know. We're going to find out. Are we though? You might already know. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this episode. Let's get into it. Okay, so I've got a little notepad in front of me of all the things I want to go over because I definitely would have forgotten half of these. Like they just kept coming to me at the most random times. Like I was laying in bed trying to go to sleep and then this thought came to me like, I want to talk about this in this podcast. So I was like, oh my God, get out of bed, go write down a piece of paper so I don't forget. But anyways, I've got it all here. So I want to start with a little story, as I always do, because I always make it about myself somehow. I want to start with a little story of my fear of success, which I'm currently working through with my coach. So my two biggest fears at the moment, which are holding me back from success, which are like full on blocks, limiting beliefs that I'm trying to, well, I am working through. I will work through these. No limiting beliefs here. We're going to work through these. But the first one is that I'm going to run out of podcast episode ideas. Now, this one has only just recently come up, which I never have thought about it. Like I've had people mention to me, like, won't you run out of ideas for your podcast? And I've always just said, nah, no, I won't. And I've actually never ever thought it until just the other day. I had the thought, I was like, wait, what if I run out of podcast ideas? Like, what do I do then? Like, there's only so many things you can really talk about, isn't there? And I sat with these thoughts. I was like, And I really did let the fear build up. I was like, wait, you're so right. Like, I am going to run out of things to talk about. And then I started going in a downward spiral because I was like, wow, my life isn't interesting enough to have that many things to talk about. Like I'm not doing enough in my life to have lots of conversations on the podcast. So I kind of just went into a big dark hole there, but I got myself out. I was like, what the frick are you doing, Taylor? Get the frick out of this, snap out of it. So I got out of that, but now that thought has been like looming in the back of my mind that I'm going to work through. But it's crazy because people have said it directly to my face, like, won't you run out of things to say? And I was like, no. And it did not affect me at the slightest because I just truly believe that no, I'm never going to run out of things to say. Like I'm going to be a podcaster forever. But then this thought just hit me the other day and I was like, wait, what if I do run out of things to say? So I'm currently working through that limiting belief. And then my other biggest one, which I've been working on with my coach a lot, is the fear of being cancelled. So I'm really trying to like grow my Instagram, grow my YouTube channel, and I want to be an influencer. I mean, not really like an influencer where I'm like, buy this, buy that, more just like kind of an inspirational, like motivational content creator online. But I just have the biggest fear that if I get to a certain point, like if I grow followers and get like a lot of followers, I'm going to get cancelled for something. I just have this such deep rooted fear that I'm going to get cancelled if I become successful on Instagram or like successful as an influencer. And it really is holding me back because I will go to post something on my stories and then I overthink it like crazy, thinking, someone is going to get triggered by this. Someone is going to get offended by this. And I've been working through this. And the main thing I'm getting out of it is I just need to show up as my most authentic self. Like I need to show up as who I am deep down. And me showing up as my authentic self will attract the people that want to watch me, that want to follow along on my journey. I can't be sitting there trying to think that I'm going to please every single person when I post a certain story or a certain Instagram reel, because I'm just not. Like there's always going to be one person that's like, what the fuck is she doing? Like this is so cringe. Like you're triggering me somehow. Like there's always going to be someone that does that. You're never ever going to be able to please everyone. Like look at Mr. Beast, for example. He gives away millions and millions of dollars. He literally helped people see again. And then he still has thousands and thousands and thousands of people saying that he's faking it. Like he's not really giving them the money. He's not really giving away that car. Like imagine being Mr. Beast and doing so much for the world. And then you've still got thousands of people saying, nah, this is all fake. I don't believe you. You're bullshit. You're just doing it for the views, blah, 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 blah. That is crazy, right? But it's such a good example of you would never be able to please everybody. So my massive block at the moment is just the fear of being cancelled or the fear of something I've done in my past coming back up. Because, you know, when you see all those famous people, mostly like Americans, where people dig through their old tweets and they bring up stuff of them being racist and homophobic and stuff. And I completely don't support that. Like if you're being racist and homophobic, you need to fucking own your shit. You need to apologize for it. And then you need to prove that you've grown from that and you're not that person anymore. But we see it all the time how people get famous and then people just dig fucking deep and they bring up shit from your past. And I think back to my past, I'm like, I've never said anything that's racist. Like I've never put anything bad online, but then these thoughts in my head are still saying like, no, you're going to get cancelled for something. Like something is going to come up, you're going to get cancelled. Oh my gosh, it's just a mission to work through because every time I work through it and like I try and change the perspective, these thoughts just keep coming up. But it is definitely a long process and we're definitely going to work through them. But yeah, those are my two massive blockages, limiting beliefs holding me back from success at the moment because I fear success. The fear of success is holding me back. And I've acknowledged what is holding me back and I'm completely aware of what is holding me back. So yeah, now I'm just in the process of working through them, trying to change my perspective of the way I view these limiting beliefs and try and look at them as a positive. But yeah, those are my examples of the two limiting beliefs I have at the moment that are completely holding me back that I'm working through. So now I've got a few topics that I've written down that I want to go over where I feel like the fear of success is holding you back. So I want you to really, so if you need to have a pen and paper handy, just in case one of these triggers you or brings up emotions for you, because then that is most likely a limiting belief and it's triggering you in some way. So you've obviously got some inner work there that you need to do, but is the fear of success holding you back? Let's jump into it. So the first topic I had written down is getting famous, blowing up on Instagram, blowing up on TikTok, becoming an influencer, just really getting famous and being a well-known content creator online, but then you're so scared that you won't be able to hold that audience or you're going to get cancelled. So the same kind of fear that I have of becoming like an influencer and then I'm scared I'm going to get cancelled, but this goes for like becoming a massive singer, becoming like a massive actress. Like you could have this massive dream of becoming the biggest artist in the world and just produce so many amazing songs, but there's this fear here that you could get cancelled for a lyric you say, like people might take your lyrics the wrong way. And I've seen this happen with artists on TikTok, like they get cancelled for certain lyrics they say. I can't think of the exact person, but like people just take lyrics the wrong way. So there could be a fear there that if I become a musician, people could take my lyrics the wrong way. I could get cancelled. I could offend people. And then I'm just never going to become an artist because I could just get cancelled before I even blow up. The same concept goes for like TikTok, because I feel like a lot of people these days know how easy it is to blow up on TikTok and just build up a massive community and a fan base on TikTok, that a lot of people try it. Like I tried it. I spoke about this in my last episode, but I tried to be a TikToker and it wasn't for me. But I feel like there's so many people out there these days that want to be an influencer and they're taking TikTok really, really seriously. But then they're wondering why they're not getting any followers or lots of likes and comments and building a community. But then they haven't really done the inner work. And I can almost guarantee you there's going to be a block there. And that block could be that they are actually scared of blowing up on TikTok because they could get cancelled. Something could bring them down. They could have a friend from the past bring up a massive story that destroys them, like that puts them in a bad light. Like they could have someone quote unquote expose them. They could get cancelled from something they said in their past that wasn't even that bad really, because I know so many people that have got cancelled from things they said that really were not that bad. Like we would have said the same things, like not racist or homophobic things, but kind of like being a little bitch or something, like saying, oh, that girl doesn't look that pretty today. Like we've all freaking been there. We've all been a bitch in our lives. I think getting cancelled for things like that is so freaking silly, to be honest. So I feel like lots of people would have a fear of being cancelled because of how easy it is to be cancelled these days. Like cancel culture is next freaking level. Like you could literally look at the camera a certain way and people will be like, ew, she's got a resting bitch face. Like, I don't like her. She's giving mean girl vibes. So I feel like other people like me would have a fear of being cancelled, like this deep fear of how easy it is to get cancelled. And you could build up your whole community. You could build up your followers. And then all of that could just get taken away when or if, quote unquote, if you ever get cancelled or exposed for something. The next fear of success topic is money. Now, I feel like this will resonate with a lot of people. This definitely resonates with me. I have so many limiting beliefs and blockages around money that I'm working through as well. But the fear of getting heaps of money will turn you into an evil person, or you'll become stuck up, you won't be humble, you'll be really cocky, and you're literally blocking yourself from getting money, because if you got that money, then you fully believe that you're going to turn into that horrible person. And there is so many limiting beliefs around money that I'm sure so many of you probably have picked up on, or you're very conscious of and aware of at the moment. But there is just so many limiting beliefs around money that really fully stop us from getting more money. And I do have this limiting belief that if I get a lot of money, I'm going to have a massive ego. I'm going to have a big head. Like I'm just going to become some stuck up, snobby person. And I have this limiting belief because I've seen like YouTubers that I've grown up watching go from really small to really big, and they get heaps of money and they become out of touch with reality. They become really big-headed. They become snobby. We can't relate to them anymore because they're just so rich. And that is a massive fear of mine, that if I get lots of money, I'm going to become that person. I'm not going to be relatable anymore. I'm going to be big-headed. I'm not going to be in touch with society or what the frick's going on in the world, because I'm just going to be living my dream with all my money. Like that is such a deep-rooted limiting belief of mine. And I feel like lots of other people would have this limiting belief, because I feel like it would be common. Because even in movies, we watch movies and the bad guy is like rich. The bad guy with lots and lots of money is the one that's trying to get more money and steal from people and like does evil things. And our subconscious has definitely picked up on that and has associated being rich with being evil. So I'm working through that at the moment, and I think a lot of people would be able to resonate with that, because you literally are blocking yourself from receiving money and getting more money, because your subconscious fully believes that if you get all this money, you're going to become this shitty person. That is a massive one that I'm working through, and if that triggered you, or if you felt like, fuck yeah, that is me, then definitely write down that limiting belief and reword it into a positive light. So for example, my limiting belief is, if I get a lot of money, I'm going to have a big ego, a big head, and I'm going to be out of touch with reality. So I change that and I affirm that if I get lots of money, I will do good in this world. I will be able to provide for more people. I will be able to provide for myself more, grow my businesses. So I kind of just really affirm it in a positive light, and I write down that limiting belief, cross it out, write down my new belief, and I just repeat that before bed in the morning just as many times as I remember. And I even set alarms to repeat my new affirmations. So that's what I'm doing to help overcome my massive limiting belief. So if you did resonate with that limiting belief, definitely start working through it, because we are not blocking ourselves from money over here. We want to be successful. We're getting rid of the fear of success, all right? The next fear that I think a lot of people would resonate with as well is having a successful business, because they feel it will be really, really hard. And I think this fear definitely comes from working in a job where your boss is always just like, oh, it's so hard, or your boss seems really stressed, or he's like not happy with his job, he's not happy with what he's doing. Because we see it all the time. There's like literally a TikTok meme about it where people say, when you quit your 9 to 5 to work for yourself, but now you work 24/7, people are scared that if they start their own business, they're going to have to work longer hours. They're not going to have as much free time. Most people start a business so they can have more free time. They can be more flexible. They can work their own hours. But all over TikTok especially, we see people saying how they started their own business and they're working more than they ever had before. And I think that definitely stops people from starting their own business, because they're like, holy shit, I don't want to have to work more hours than I need to. I want to start a business to work my own hours. But by watching these people and believing what they're saying, we're literally already forming our own perspective of what it will be like to run a business based on someone else's experience. And the reason I bring this fear up is because I went through this as well. I wanted to start my own business. I mean, I did have a little business when I was a bit younger, but I wanted to really start like an actual big business. I wanted to do activewear at one point, and I had such like big plans in place. And the fear of succeeding at the business stopped me, because I was like, what if this business goes really well? Like, what if I blow up on TikTok and like I get heaps of orders? I'm going to have to spend the whole night packing orders. And that literally stopped me. Before I even started the business, I held myself back. So I was like, no, it's too big. It's too scary. If I succeed, it's going to be too hard. And if you're experiencing any of these fears, I really, really encourage you to start working through them because you are blocking yourself. They're all limiting beliefs. Like I've realized now that I don't want to start a business. I was just doing it because it was like low-key trendy at the time to start a business because it was all over TikTok and social media to like be your own business owner and stuff. But literally before I even started, I blocked myself from doing anything because the fear of actually succeeding just stopped me. I was like, no, it's too big. It's too scary. If it actually happens, it's too scary. Like I don't want to do it. So if any of these fears resonated with you or they clicked, you're like, yes, that is what I'm going through. This is what is stopping me. I highly, highly encourage you and I highly recommend, and I want you to do this because I want you to freaking grow and get away from your blockages and work through your limiting beliefs. I want you to write out your limiting belief on a paper and be freaking honest with yourself. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't bullshit yourself. Write down your limiting belief exactly for how it is. Cross that shit out and write your new belief that you want to believe. So if you believe that if you start your own business, you're going to work long hours, you're going to have no time for anyone, write that shit down, cross it out, and then write your new affirmation of, if I start my own business, it's going to be fun. It's going to be flexible. I get to choose my own hours. It's going to be easy. It's going to be fun. So write down your new belief that you want to have and repeat that shit daily. Keep repeating it until that is built into your subconscious mind and you fully believe it, because that is when your freaking world will change. Once you work through your limiting beliefs, dude, that is when the magic happens. That is when the magic happens. And also, if you have any other fears of success that are holding you back, please let me know because I'd love to hear them and love to talk them out with you, and we can dive deep into it and get to the nitty-gritty and work through that shit, because I want everyone who's listening to this podcast to succeed. I know you all have a dream. Literally, I know you have a dream. If you listen to this podcast, then you probably clicked on the episode title because it resonated with you somehow. And I know that you would have a big, big ass desire that you want to get to, but you feel like so many things are holding you back. So go grab your journal, go grab your pen, start writing down your limiting beliefs and start working through them, because then your world will change, your desires will come to you, and you're just going to feel so much more aligned. I hope you liked this episode. I hope it resonated with you. I hope you learned something. Come join the Potty Facebook community. I'm going to start posting on there. I've got a little bit of imposter syndrome, so I don't know what the fuck to post, and I don't want people to unfollow the group. So that's another limiting belief I've got to work through. But I'm definitely wanting to create a guide for you, like a routine type of guide thing. I'm not 100% sure what it's going to be yet, but I'm probably just going to post all my thoughts and ideas in the podcast group and get everyone's feedback, because I want to create it for you, not for me, but for you. I mean, it is for me too, because I'm like being a bit of a cash grabber right now. I've got an idea where I want to sell a course, like a seller guide for cheap. Definitely for cheap. I'm not going to fucking charge you an arm and leg. I want to sell a course and then I want to use that money to create an actual physical product for the podcast. So that's my goal anyway. My plan is to do a little bit of a cash grab, but a good cash grab where I can actually provide you value for cheap as well. And then I want to use that money to create an actual physical product that I really want to do. But that is my plan, ATM. But come join the Potty community, because I'm just going to be sharing my ideas and thoughts in there and getting your feedback. But I'm going to go make my protein oats for breakfast now. They're not that good, but they have high protein and they fill me up. I mean, I would love to eat Ben & Jerry's for breakfast, but yeah, a bit expensive. So I'm going to go now. I need to stop rambling on. Have the best day, have the best night, whatever you're doing. I will see you in my next episode. All right, bye. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. I really do appreciate it more than you know. If you're feeling a little bored and want to do something, then you're more than welcome to leave a review, give me a follow, share with friends, whatever you want to do. No pressure though. And also, any feedback is more than welcome. Just come slide into my DMs on Instagram or TikTok. The username is just canyouShutUp.podcast. If you're driving, drive safely, and I hope you all have the most magical day filled with new opportunities and memories. And I'll be back in your ears next week. Bye.